So miscarriage is the most common complication of pregnancy in the United States, occurring in approximately 15 to 20% of clinically recognized pregnancies. And while miscarriage affects women across all communities, research suggests that Black women experience a significantly higher risk of pregnancy loss, with studies indicating up to a 43% increased risk compared to other groups. But beyond the pregnancies are real women carrying real grief, because miscarriage is not only physical, it's emotional, psychological, and it can be life-altering. Studies have shown that the grief experienced after miscarriage can mirror the loss of a close loved one, with emotional effects lasting months and sometimes carrying into future pregnancies. Yet for many women, it remains a grief carried quietly. Like many, today's guest Ruth experienced pregnancy loss several years ago, an experience she later chose to speak about publicly. And today's conversation is not only about loss, it's about grief and identity, and hopefully creating space for women who may still be carrying shame, silence, or pain around experiences they were never meant to carry alone. Welcome, Ruth.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing well. And I have to be honest, like, I was really excited coming here because these are the conversations that I really created this platform for, just around our shared experiences as humans.
Right.
And so I'm really grateful and honored that you chose to come here and share your
happy to be here.
Yeah. How are you feeling right now?
I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel good. I'm happy to share my story.
Yeah. What makes you happy to share?
Just because I didn't really have that when I was going through my miscarriages. I didn't really have anyone to talk to, not even my own mom. So I'm happy to share what I've experienced, so that when anyone else is going through this, they won't feel alone.
Yeah.
You know.
You mentioned not sharing with your mom or anyone. Was that a personal choice, or do you believe that she wasn't able to handle it, or was it something you were just not comfortable talking about?
Well, I did share with my mom. What I meant to say was I did not have someone that I could talk to in a sense that had went through the same thing or that understood. So I didn't even know my mom had a miscarriage. I had miscarriages until I told her about
Really?
I had to dig it out of her, because I didn't know that it was like the percentage was that high. So that's why I was like, I have to talk about this.
What's interesting to me about what you said, and I think it's kind of indicative of the weight and the shame that people carry. You didn't talk to your mom because you assumed that she wouldn't understand, or maybe that you wouldn't be able to talk to her about it.
Right.
And then you eventually tell her and find out that she also has the same thing that she also never shared with you.
Even in real time, when I was talking to her about it, she did not want to go in debt with her story. I could tell that she was still hurting from it. And in a way, I kind of got upset with her too, because I was like, I would have been prepared had you shared this with me, your daughter. There was just a lot of things I went into marriage not knowing. And I'm the kind of person that, if I'm in pain, if there's gonna be pain in the future, I need to know about it beforehand, because I'll know how to deal with it better. So dealing with it real time, it created some resentment.
Really? Where did that resentment come from?
Just from not knowing.
Okay.
The not knowing that this is a possibility when you get married.
Oh.
When you are trying to get pregnant.
Yeah.
So it was just a lot of fears, a lot of unknown.
Yeah. And so you spoke about it publicly. Is that the reason why you decided to speak about it publicly?
That's one of the reasons. So it was also my gift back to God as well. Like, because I remember begging, I remember when, sorry, I'm living through it like in real time. I just remember when me and my husband was like praying for our own baby.
Yeah.
And one of the promises, like we promised to God, was we were gonna tell the world like this miraculous thing that He's done for us. And that was one of the bigger reasons why we did that. Why I wanted to come forward, and to also let people know the realities of what goes on, because a lot of people don't talk about it.
Yeah. So let's go through a journey of what went on. So you find out you're pregnant.
Yes.
This is your first pregnancy.
Yes.
Okay.
About like 4 months after I got, about like 4 months I got married. Yes.
Yeah, 4 months out. Okay. And explain to me that moment of finding out you're having a kid, how you're feeling,
Yeah.
what's going through your mind, how you're preparing for this?
I was excited. I did not want to do it the traditional African way. I was already telling my friends, and I didn't know there was a rule of waiting after 13 weeks to tell people that you're pregnant. So I started telling my friends, and I started telling my mom. Like, we went and surprised and did the whole cute little video surprise things. We did the whole 9 yard, and shortly after that, I had a miscarriage. And I think the gut-wrenching part was also telling everyone that we already told that we lost a baby, because it's like reliving that same thing over. I don't know if anybody's ever lost a loved one. I lost my dad, but one of the hardest things is, even after you think you're moving on with life, you have to now relive that. Like right now, I'm reliving that trauma. You have to relive that trauma with people that did not know, that once knew and then did not know. So when I say that, I'm saying, like, for example, when I lost my dad, I had to, like, a year later, people didn't know that some people would not know he passed. And I would have to now say, hey, yeah, he did. When they ask about him, hey, he passed away.
I see.
So that was the same thing with the miscarriages. I had to now tell the people that I forgot that I even told that I was expecting, that I was no longer having the baby. So I was reliving the trauma over and over again.
Yeah.
So the second time I had my miscarriage, I was happy that I didn't tell anybody.
So you had 2 of them.
Yeah, I had 2 miscarriages.
What does that put you through? Like, when you, whatever you feel comfortable sharing. When you found out that you're no longer with your child, what does that moment feel like?
It felt like, grief. It felt like loss. I was angry at God. I was angry because I was angry because I felt like I was angry because I felt like I did not know that, one, a lot of women actually go through this after doing my own research. 2, I was already falling in love with the little baby or lack thereof. And yeah, it was one of the worst things I probably ever went through.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you're already connected to your child.
I was already connected. Yeah.
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 It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
When you think about that, do you still think about the child that existed that you were carrying?
Yes, I think about that. I think about the emotions and how I was feeling in that moment. So that's why I'm trying not to I'm trying to hold myself back, because I haven't relived it in a while,
Yeah. Is it, and I'm asking these because I think of, for a lot of us men or people who haven't experienced it, it's interesting because I've always assumed that women are prepared to carry for children. And so it doesn't psychologically, in my mind, even dawn on me that this would affect, unless I'm told, you know? And I've had friends that have told me their experiences, or even my mom, who had about 5 miscarriages before she had my younger sister. At the time I was younger, so I witnessed it, but I didn't understand fundamentally what that does to you.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate your candor and your honesty, but truly, whatever you feel comfortable sharing is up to you.
Yeah.
But know that I will hold that and meet it with the vulnerability and respect that it deserves.
Yeah, I respect that.
But for understanding, when you think about the child today, what feelings does it bring up for you? Because did you feel like you failed at the time, maybe your child, or did you take it? Did you hold it as something that you had done wrong?
Right.
Yeah.
I did. I'm always eating healthy, but always doing some type of diet. And I was like, okay, could it be because I was doing keto before I even knew that I was pregnant? Could it be I wasn't? It was a lot of blaming. There was a lot of I feel like I went through this, was it 7 stages of grief?
7 stages of grief, yeah.
Yeah. Denial. I remember when I was passing it out or whatever. I remember saying, well, maybe this is just a minor bleeding, and maybe my baby is still there, bump what the doctor says. God has a final say. And, that was my denial. And I just remember going through a whole cycle. I was very angry at one point because I did decide to do it naturally, where the TMI, but where the baby passes through and placenta passes through on its own. So it was very long 3 days that it was happening. And I remember just being in my room. I had to send my husband out because I was angry. And I remember crying uncontrollably. Like, it was a lot. It was a lot. I'm trying to hold myself back now, but it was a lot.
If you have to let yourself go, it's also okay.
Okay.
Yeah, truly. Because the reason I say that, because I'm assuming you're reliving pain, grief,
Yeah.
expectation,
Yeah.
loneliness, failure, feelings of unworthiness.
Yes.
And so all of those feelings together creates this reality where it does become a pressurized system.
Yes.
And I think it deserves its, its proper. Do you feel like you had the support to handle that?
I did.
All that, yeah.
I had the support of my my husband and my doula.
Okay.
So thank God that they were there, even though there are times that I was sending them away, but I'm glad that I had them to support me.
How does that then affect your relationship? Because I'm assuming, I've never had a child.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming because your husband's a man, maybe he may have went through his grief differently.
He did.
So then how does that then affect your relationship component, if at all?
To be honest, that made us closer.
Yeah.
I did have a little resentment though, because he is a man and I'm a
Yeah.
woman. I'm the one. My body's going through it. So it was a little. You would never understand.
Yeah.
But when I got a little bit more mature, I was like, oh wait, he was there for me in every single way, and he was also hurting. There was a time that he after we went to the doctor, and she told us that we might experience miscarriage. I remember him waking up at 3 a.m. and waking me up when I didn't want to pray. I didn't want to talk to God. I was upset.
Yeah.
And he woke me up, and he, as the head of the household, literally covered me and covered the house and covered my womb. And, it's things like that I remember that made me not, hold the resentment towards him, because he was really supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it took your relationship through a transition.
It did. It did. But it was very short transition. I didn't really hold it wasn't like a long-term thing. It was like what's the word I'm looking for? It was like a blip of the moment type of anger.
What do you wish you had that you, looking back now, that you didn't have then?
Like in that moment?
Yeah. In the moment of just heavy grief, right? Because that's what it is. Expectations that aren't met, and then loss of a future that you had envisioned.
Yeah.
The
only thing that I can say that I wish I had was my baby. I mean, I had I had the support around me. I had everything I needed around me.
Yeah.
The baby was the only missing thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing that I'm learning in this conversation is that grieving someone that you never met physically,
Yeah.
but because the baby was growing inside of you, you already had a deeper connection with the child. So you don't look at it as a fetus, like that was your child.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the child was made out of love, and you have all these plans. You already, it's like when you have a new job, right? And you haven't landed. I need some tissue. I'm sorry, y'all.
You got some tissue, guys? I'm low-key about to cry with you. I just had an
Sorry.
epiphany moment. I never realized that.
Thank you.
Have you guys ever realized that?
Yes. Yes. Well, as a woman, yes. One more.
Wow.
Sorry, I didn't think I was gonna.
It's okay.
I didn't think I was.
It's okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So it's like, you know, you just got this job or this promotion, right? And you have already told yourself, or even during the interview, you've already told yourself, oh, if I get this job, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna travel more, or I'm gonna help my parents out more, or I'm gonna, you know, X, Y, and Z more, help people out more. And it's a little bit of that feeling of the gut wrench when, you know, you don't get the job. So it's like when that baby is, like all those dreams, it just crushes. And then you start to think about fear, like, oh, will I ever get pregnant again? Or, oh, will I keep having miscarriages? Like, is this gonna be my story? Because you see that after doing a lot of research, you know, Google, you do a lot of research and, you know, it gives you the worst of the worst. So you start to think the worst, you know? So that's how that felt. Yeah.
I just learned something I did not know.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Some women, they take it differently. I've had friends who personally was like, oh, we'll be sad one day and then like over it. Everybody takes it, everybody grieves differently.
Yeah.
But that's just my personal.
Do you think most people give themselves space to grieve properly?
Some people, not most people.
No,
I feel like some people, I gave myself space. I did not work for like 2 or 3 weeks. I gave myself space, but you know, some people can't afford to give themselves space. The only reason why that I was able to afford, I have my own business, so I could do that, but not everyone can afford to take off work for 3 weeks. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What kind of business do you do?
I'm a hairstylist.
Oh, hairstylist, okay. Here in Houston?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, nice. So talk to me then now about, okay, you've experienced this loss. How did it change you?
It definitely made me stronger.
Yeah.
It made me stronger. It's almost like, oh, anything can come my way now. And I can make it through. And it was just like adding, I don't know, what's the name of that movie? Adding the rings. Yeah. Yeah, the stones.
Oh, stones, yeah.
Like, I've been through a lot of trauma in my life. Yeah, Avengers. Okay. Mm-hmm. I've been through a lot of, you know, trauma in my life. So it's like I'm collecting stones of each. So it made me stronger. I appreciate looking back at it, I appreciate going through my first miscarriage because it was able to help me with my second miscarriage, even though I was a little bit more cold with my second miscarriage. Even with that pregnancy, I didn't like get attached, which affected my viable pregnancy, my third pregnancy.
Wow.
So it's like it's a thing. It affected my third pregnancy because it's like, okay, well, I've had 2 miscarriages. I don't need to be excited about this one. I actually did not feel attached to my firstborn, my daughter now, when she was in my stomach until I was like 22 weeks pregnant.
Really?
But it wasn't
instantaneous.
Yes. Yeah. And it wasn't an easy pregnancy too, because even then, like, I was in denial throughout the whole pregnancy. I was like, surely something is gonna happen, even though I trust God. But at the same time, I was like, I trust you, God, but you know, you've hurt me before, 2 times before. So that was just the reality of what I was going through. Yeah,
yeah. And you have 2 children now.
I have 2 beautiful children now, glory to God, yes.
Yeah. How does it make you, how does this experience now, if at all, affect how you bond with your children, how you connected with them while you were pregnant, or even how you raise them?
Yeah. I'm a lot of my friends, they like to call me like a helicopter mom, or like I'm very anal when it comes to them. But I was, my daughter just turned 5 a few days ago, and I was like, I just started bawling and crying because I was like, I didn't know that you were gonna be here, and I didn't know that. Oh my gosh. I was just like having a moment, and she was looking at me like, what's going on? But I was just like, I did not think that, you would be here today. I thought that I was going to lose you as well. And I was just so grateful. I have so much gratitude in my heart that God would give me these gifts, especially when I didn't think that I would ever be here. So yeah.
Yeah. Do you talk to them or plan to talk to them about?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. When they get older, maybe 18 and up, I do plan on having these conversations with them because, again, I grew up in a Nigerian household. So a lot of things that your parents go through, they do not tell you, you know? And I did not know about my mom's story. I still don't know about her story. I just know that she went and she only told me and she still can't talk about it.
They don't tell us a darn thing. Nigerian
Not
parents.
let me
African
tell
parents,
you.
Yeah.
And I don't see.
Until you get older, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh.
And even then, it's like you have to search out for that, you
Yeah.
know, information for yourself. You have to ask them. It's not that they tell you randomly.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? So I do plan on having those conversations with my kids and informing them and educating them about how a lot of women deal with this.
Yeah.
Almost all of my friends has dealt with miscarriages. So it's a conversation that's definitely going to be had.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk to me also about the expectation, obviously growing up in an African household. Was that also part of the grief as well? Like how people would see you, the pressure and...
Yeah, you know, a month after, not even a month, when I came back from my honeymoon, are you pregnant?
That is crazy.
You know?
That is insane.
Are you pregnant? Oh, when should I be expecting good news? Ma'am, can I enjoy my wedding? I mean, like my marriage?
Yeah.
You know? And it's crazy because me and my husband, we planned and God laughs. Our plan was, okay, after a year of enjoying our marriage, we are going to now start try for kids. This is TMI, but we waited until after our wedding to, have sex or whatever. So
to get busy.
To
have a blast.
Right. So
have a good
we've
time with your
always
now
said,
husband.
we've
Yeah.
always had that conversation that, a year after. So you have to also understand that we did not know that we would get pregnant. So the first pregnancy was not I didn't know. But the second pregnancy was planned because it was like, okay, wait, we need to see if we can, have a kid.
Right.
It was gut wrenching. Like even people not knowing that I went through miscarriages would still be asking, oh, when are you gonna have a baby?
They have to stop asking that question.
They have to stop asking.
I mean, because I learned that as a kid when my mom was going through a miscarriage. It's like you don't know. You don't have a personal. Even if I have a personal relationship with somebody, I'd never go and ask somebody when are you having a kid.
You don't know what they're going through.
You don't know what people are going, and they're not about to come and announce it to the church.
Right.
Well, I had. It's just
like And it's different. Okay, it's different to tell your friends and people that you're close with, but. If I do not know someone close enough to ask them personally, I wouldn't even if I knew them close enough, I'm not gonna, if they did not come with me,
it's none of your business.
With the news, I do not need to ask.
Absolutely.
It's not okay.
Yeah, it's not okay.
And I'm not even with the whole sensitive generation of, we cry about everything.
Yeah.
But in that sense, that specific thing is very personal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
just because I go to church with you doesn't mean I have a relationship with you, which gives you license to ask me certain questions about my life.
Just because I call you auntie, that don't mean.
That's why I gotta stop calling them auntie.
Okay.
You just call them by their first name. Yes.
That don't mean you get to
Barbara.
ask me that. And mind you, these are women that have went through miscarriages.
What is that? Why
I
do you
don't
think
get it. And I'm trying to tell myself that I have been through this. I do not want to turn into this.
You know what I think it is? I think misery loves company.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Me and my friends talk about it. I think people don't talk about the realities of marriage or the realities of bearing children. And then from what I've heard, once you're in it, it's like, oh, these are the things. And I think it's in our culture specifically. I think it's misery loves company.
I think it's true because when you really get deep and down into it, they are not. They have the same feelings as you as far as the grief that you went through, the trauma that you went through.
Yeah.
But why is it that you are now? But you're right. It could be misery loves company.
It is because how dare you have it easier than me?
Right.
As opposed to you chose to be in realities, because the thing about emotions, you can process through them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't have to control you. You can learn to live with the residuals of your experiences that really shape and form who you are.
Yeah.
And you know, I tell people all the time, I'm a person that processes my emotions very deeply and intentionally, because
That's
I don't want
good.
them to hold me in shackles. And I have and I allow stillness to allow God to tell me, you know, but it's hard at times because
Yeah, it is. It's tough.
grief can tell you stories that aren't true.
Let me tell you.
You know, you have to sit with it, and it's hard, but you get through it.
Yeah.
You know, and it gives you, like you said, the stone.
The stone.
The stone. What is the word you think of when you think of your child that has passed on? Is that okay if I say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
God's plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way I like to think about things is God allows us to go through certain things, and it shapes who we are in the future.
Absolutely.
There's a reason why, like for instance, Jonah, you know, and a lot of characters in the Bible, there's a reason why Jonah was disobedient, because the way now, after he got out that fish, the way he did what he was supposed to do afterwards is he had to sit in that fish for 3 days for him to do what God wanted him to do. And I feel like with me, I say God's plan, because I am not the person that I was before. I am not doing the things that I was doing before when it comes to fear, when it comes to just whatever, because of that.
Yeah.
So when I think about those miscarriages, I just think God's plan.
God's plan. Well, what is it that you'd want women to know, or men that are married to women that have experienced this, based on your life occurrences? What was it that you want women to know?
That it's possible, but that doesn't mean that it has to be your story. Do a lot when you get married. Do a lot of research. When you're trying to have kids, do a lot of research. Be prayerful, and also, again, know that whatever happens, it happens for your good. Like it's not. It doesn't always have to be, oh, this happened to me and this is the end. I know people that struggle with infertility. That's even worse than miscarriage, because at least you could get pregnant.
Yeah.
There's people that can't get pregnant, but the story doesn't end there, you know? So research, prayer, and keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on. Well, I thank you so much. I recognize and I'm so honored about the courage it took you to talk about this publicly. You did not know me, and for trusting me to have this conversation. I'm really, like I said, I really love these conversations, and your courage is going to set so many people free that hear this and can hear themselves within your story.
Yeah.
And so I really am so honored that you do have this conversation with us and trusting me. And I pray that you continue to give yourself permission to allow yourself to feel that connection with your first child, even though we all didn't meet them, but you did, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jeremy.
Yes. If you've ever shared or talked or shared in grief that you want to talk about, please reach out to me on Instagram at Jeremy Kofi. And remember that grief is normal, but don't hold on to the shame of it. Talk about it with people that you trust, and know that there is hope on the other side. See you next time, everybody.